The first episode.
Hi, kids!
Hi. Nice to see ya. Well,
Hi, kids!
Come on.
nice place you got here. Come check out the Bastards Council.
Confessions number 24, and welcome to the Bastards Council. We got Primate, Vin, and Jay to the oh no.
No
Ivy.
No Ivy.
First Ivy miss in 20, what was it?
20 years.
24.
Been 20 years.
24.
24 years.
How
He's
many
never
have you
missed
missed?
one.
You've missed like 8.
I didn't miss 8. I built my fucking entrance through 8 of them.
You missed them.
No.
He still built his entrance.
No, I built my
That's like-
entrance.
Remember when he rose up?
You guy, you
That's
like,
a
you know,
third.
look at it as in I had 8 opening bands.
That's terrible. Who wants to sit through that?
It's a festival. It started at noon. It's not that bad.
8 bands at a festival is also pretty bad. Who wants to
No,
sit
it's
through
not.
that?
No, they're good bands. You guys are good bands.
Speaking of bands.
Yeah,
tonight,
bands.
Armin and I
Saw
Tool.
Yeah.
Man, fuck Tool.
And
Yeah, you see, we were like that.
We were like that.
And I
So
was,
why would you go to the show?
because I wanted to go heckle them. I said, I'm going to go and it's free. And
Every time you've gone to heckle a band, you always come out saying, it was fucking great.
Is that what I said after Def Leppard, or did I tear him a new asshole for being a fucking blimp?
You said they were great.
No, I said he was a great blimp, like the Hindenburg.
No, you said Def Leppard as a group was great.
That's fucking possible. I did not say that.
They were great.
They were great in 88.
No. The whole band.
I'm 38 and great.
No, I would not say Joe Elliott is great. He's great at eating donuts.
Joel Elliott isn't Def Leppard.
He's Fat Leopard.
Well,
Awesome.
You know, okay.
Anyway, why the fuck are we talking about Def Leppard? Tool.
Yeah, because you and I saw Tool
Yeah.
in 2001. And already at that time, I didn't like Lateralis. That's right, I didn't like Lateralis.
Neither did I.
Neither did I.
Yeah.
Shut up.
and
We know you didn't like it.
I remember going to the show because I was excited. And, you know, oh, I'll get to hear stuff from Enema, from Undertow,
You
from
did.
Opiate. And what happened? And not only that,
Yeah, it was like
Maynard
Cirque du
was
Soleil.
behind the curtain. And everything was very artsy. And like you said, you don't want art in your...
Look, I don't mind a little bit of music. I mean, a little bit of Cirque du Soleil shit with the music. But when it's all Cirque du Soleil and a bit of music, it was kind of stupid,
Cirque
man.
du Soleil without the athleticism.
It sucked, man. You know, that whoever saw the 2001 show, if you thought it was great, it's because you're a diehard Tool fan. There's no other reason you thought it was great. But this show, even for
Yeah,
someone,
even the first 10 minutes, I was already like, okay,
watched
I
it.
don't know this song, but already this is better than what I saw in 2001.
yeah, they finally nailed the visual thing.
The visual thing was good,
You know?
and they played at least songs that we knew.
Yeah.
Well, like I said earlier in the night, because they don't put out an album every fucking. They put one album
That's
out every
the other
decade.
thing. This band hasn't put a record out in 10
11.
years.
11.
11 years. And they had
I was in high school.
pretty
when
much
the last
sold
time.
out arena under their hands today, man.
That's why I have a big problem. Like musically, I'm not that big a fan.
No, man,
all right?
clearly-
I'll give them respect for what they do.
Yeah,
No,
they made a hell of an impact on music.
he
It's
made a point.
undeniable, man. It is
Because,
undeniable.
like you said, when Soundgarden came,
Yeah, they went away, same hiatus. They came back with a new album, and they were a Metropolis band. That, for you guys who are not in Montreal, is a 2,000-seater. Tool played in a 21,000-seater place that was like sold out tonight, man. So whether we like them or not, this band is pretty big.
it left
I know they're big.
An imprint on the music scene, like you said.
I know they're big. However, I have a very big fucking problem with a band, or specifically the fucking lead singer who hates his own fans. And this isn't debatable. He's said it before. He doesn't
yeah.
like his
You know,
fans.
well,
He gets fucking.
I understand what
he
he
gets
says.
annoyed when people are asking about their album that has taken 11 years. Like, are you on hiatus? Did you quit? What are you doing?
Here's the thing.
Maynard's
He's
always
straight-
been
Yeah, he's
weird,
always
man.
been that
He's
way.
not a
From-
fucking
even
normal
from
person.
Enema, okay? In Enema, there's that song, Hooker with a Penis. It's about
Jimmy.
it's about fans that would come up to Maynard and say that, yo, you guys sold out because I've been listening to Tool since the first EP, and this is only their second album.
They already sold out.
And it's like, you sold out. So he's basically saying, motherfucker, I sold out long before you even heard my name, basically. And he straight up says this in the songs. Then you have the actual song Enema, which is basically, right, it's to clean your ass, right?
Yeah.
But in this song, it's let's clean LA. I want
it
LA
out,
to fall to the water. And
He's praying for a wave in that song.
What the
Wait,
fuck is the point? What are you trying to get
hold
to?
on, because what he gets is what he's getting at, and he hates the way the people are, I guess, in LA, and he says it. Fuck L. Ron Hubbard and fuck all his clones. Fuck all these dysfunctional, insecure actresses.
And fuck you.
Fuck these gun-toting hip gangster wannabes. All this shit, right? Learn to swim. That's the line of the song. Learn to swim. Because when it goes down, you better know how to swim.
Yeah, you don't have to swim, you're dead.
Anyways, just to say, he's been sick. It's been known that he hates a lot of people just from the songs.
Okay,
You get it
okay.
from the
So the
songs.
point where I was trying to go with this is people will hate Axl Rose for being, I don't know, antisocial and type of thing. Like, that. Fuck that guy, he's an asshole. Now, Maynard James Keenan
You think we
is a
don't hate
fucking
him?
asshole and everyone fucking seems to love him. If you're a true fan, you love
not
him.
everyone seems to fucking love him. There's a lot of people like us.
You know the way
who
a lot of
don't love
people,
him.
there's a lot of people that love Axl Rose and a lot of people that hate Axl Rose.
I know people who refuse to listen to Guns N' Roses because of
Right.
Axl Rose. I don't know anyone who refuses
Right.
to listen to Tool.
I get it. You're one of those people that would, let's say, if he was Axl Rose, you would hate Axl Rose. If he was Axl Rose, that's what I mean.
I don't know. I don't really generally hate people or musicians' music because of their personality. I'm just generally not like
Like, if
that.
I were supposed to hate people who hate their fans and hate fame and all that shit, I gotta burn all my black metal stuff. Because those guys really don't like me, and they openly say we don't give a fuck about our fans.
Fair enough.
Right? The real, I'm talking about some of the cult shit, right? Like, Darkthrone will laugh at you for being their fucking fan. Like, stupid. You know,
But the real point of the matter, what I'm trying to get to is, I can't understand Tool fans who complain that it takes forever for them to make an album. It's 100% true. They take way too long to put out an album, but then they support the band and go see them. Like, they're never going to put out the album if they can sell out an arena without the album.
How many people spoke shit about GNR?
A lot of people did.
How many people bought tickets for the show in Montreal? How many people bought and traveled for last year's tour? A lot. In there, there's a 40% of those people were people that said, fuck these guys, I would never go fuck them, motherfucker. I hate their fucking guts. They're shit talking driving to the show. Fuck Axl. How long to the stadium? Okay.
Sure, or here's the difference. When Chinese Democracy took fucking 14 years to put out.
It's a great album. It takes 14 years to make such a masterpiece.
I'm not saying anything about Chinese Democracy. I'm just saying it took them a while. Like, before that album came out, they did sell out places, but they didn't go everywhere and sell out arenas because half the band was gone. That's true, but still,
The guy alone was selling out arenas.
when Chinese Democracy came out, they was selling out everywhere, and then they came back without an album. This is Guns N' Roses, and they didn't play the Bell Center. They played fucking Metropolis.
Oh, that was on purpose.
That was on purpose with
That
a
was on
very
purpose.
expensive ticket
Yeah.
price.
They
That's
said
like
it.
Prince playing Metropolis.
Yeah.
He did that also, but Prince is a Bell Center guy.
Yeah,
but he
I guess
jacked
so.
up the ticket
I don't
prices
know.
went there.
I'm not a fan of Tool. Musically, like, I think they're
I think you
alright,
would
but
have
I don't.
appreciated the show tonight if you saw it.
And-
Maybe.
And the
but-
sound quality was
And
off
you know the
the
way he
hook.
said, why would Tool fans bitch about Tool and then after support them for the album?
Yeah.
Why do you bitch about Montreal? But you like Montreal. You wanted to improve, right? Well, it's the same kind of concept. I think fans are just upset.
I don't think it's the same concept.
Well, I think fans are just upset that, like, we love this band, but God fucking damn it, put out an album. Look, I don't like the last one.
Yeah, I was gonna say last
I don't
album
give a
wasn't that
shit.
great, so fuck it. They shouldn't release it anymore. They
Yeah,
can do
I
this.
couldn't care
I'll probably
less.
go see them again in 2 years if they come again and there's no album.
I couldn't care less if they put on another album, honestly. Tool, I really don't care.
Every time they put out a new album, you have less chances of hearing Opiate and
There you go.
Undertow songs live.
There you go.
You know.
Fair enough. I just think, I'm like I said, I think it's horseshit. I don't really like Tool fans in general. I'm not a big fan of when they talk about Tool, because obviously that's not the only band that they listen to. But when it's specifically about Tool, they can do no wrong, and all I see is a lot of wrong. And you've said this before.
Oh, I don't know. I do kind of agree with that. Like, there's a lot of things that do piss me off about the band. I'm just saying tonight was a good show. Like, I'm not gonna
I was
deny it.
shocked that I
shocked
didn't
too.
bitch about the show at all. I didn't laugh. I didn't say like, look at this fucking dumbass, or I was just quiet watching.
We were going there thinking we were gonna, like, see some artsy fartsy garbage, and you know,
We saw
like,
some pretty
here we
high
go.
tech shit.
Yeah.
At that show. One of the best laser
You
shows
see,
I've
The
ever
sound
seen.
was fucking
And the
awesome.
sound-
You seem to be more impressed with their everything except for them playing. Yeah, I'm sure they played really great.
No,
but-
dude, they sounded better than a CD when they played tonight. The sound was
Well,
just.
because it was 20 years ago they put out the album, so of course it sounds better now.
No, it just sounded incredible in the Bell Center tonight, and the laser
I
show
was
was off
making
the
a joke
hook.
on how long ago
The
it was.
screen,
but-
dude, that screen. It's not normal that the screen.
Dude,
like
even
that,
lights were coming
man.
out of the screen. But anyway, yeah.
It was cool. It was cool. They nailed, like I said, they nailed it visual. They tried to do visual in 2001, and it fucking blew goats. So many goats came. There was so much goat blow jobs. This time, not a single goat was blowed. This was fucking right on, man.
Not a single goat was blown.
What about chupacabra? It literally means goat blower.
Well, not really.
No,
It's
there
actually-
wasn't one
Goat
tonight.
suckers. Goat suckers.
It's but it's a South American myth.
yes,
mythology.
but the name chupacabra literally translates to goat sucker.
I don't know.
It's exactly what it is. You can try.
Why is that word familiar to me?
Well, there was an
it-
X-Files episode on it.
The chupacabra, bro? Literally in Spanish, it means goat sucker.
I don't know.
Chupa, suck, cabra, goat. Anyway,
Suck a goat.
moving on. So have you guys heard about the Kathy Griffin thing?
I don't. The head?
Yes.
Yes.
Did you see her tearful?
I just saw a picture of her doing this.
Yeah, but then she apologized, saying "I'm sorry, like a million times in her. I don't know if it was a tweet or whatever. No, it wasn't a tweet.
Oh, she
but
was
it
on a fucking video, dude.
Yeah,
she
well,
was
that's
like
it. She tweeted
cheering,
a
fucking.
video.
They're after me. It's like a mob mentality. It's like, bitch, what the fuck did you think? Like, you can do whatever the hell you want. That's your right, and it's your opinion.
It's your
However,
First Amendment.
you can't fucking believe that nobody would have said anything against you. That's the fucking internet.
Who's
think-
threatening her?
I think it's
Like
because
everybody
You know what it
was-
is? You know what it is? It's because even though, like, even this is even not like the Democratic side, the Democrat side, where they said it's like this is a bit of a subject you shouldn't do. You shouldn't talk about killing a president, basically.
Yeah.
That's what I think people were more offended about, because I mean, look, the country we know is divided. They hate Trump or you love Trump.
Maynard said something.
Maynard said something that he's like, we're sorry for our
He
country.
said the same thing in fucking Ontario.
Anyways, he said, do you know what he
Broken record.
said? He said, we're
Yes.
sorry for our country, but we're gonna fix
But
it.
we'll fix it.
We're gonna stay in Canada a few more days. Anyway, but my point isn't that it's dividing or whether the.
What is
what's
with the
up.
fucking hate today with this?
I just don't like Tool.
Yeah, nobody likes them, dislikes them like I dislike them, but I'm not being like you. I've had many more
That's
years
because the
than to
cameras
hate
are
them.
on.
Oh yeah.
Why? Am I protecting myself for somebody?
What are you talking about? Many more years? I was alive when Tool came out. I just
Like
wasn't
you-
aware.
Yeah,
That's what he's saying.
Awareness.
But I was alive.
Awareness.
Back to Kathy Griffin. So my thing wasn't about
No
the
relationship
division of
either.
or Republican or Democratic.
No,
it
but
was
I'm
more
saying
that
that-
she was freaking out that people were like, she was getting death threats and everything. It's like, what do you think? It's the fucking internet. You say you like salami, you'll get a death threat. It's just the way it is.
Oh, she liked this a lot.
And she was like, Donald Trump is coming after me. They're gonna ruin my career. What the fuck did you think?
I don't know. I didn't hear that. Like I had read the transcript. It didn't. It was just a lot of sorries.
No, I heard it, and I may be paraphrasing just a tad with she did say they're trying to end my career, and she did name drop Trump and his family as someone that were coming after her. But regardless, even if you were thinking it was a joke or was taken out of context, like, what the fuck were you thinking? Like, of course you're gonna get some backlash. I'm not saying you shouldn't have done it. I'm just saying if you're going to do it, you should have,
Been ready for this.
yes, yeah, you should have totally
Oh, for
been
sure.
ready for that.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. But why I brought this up is I wanted to touch on the subject of public shaming, because this is this wasn't as bad as I've seen it before, because this was actually somebody who, like, it's Kathy Griffin. She's always done this type of shit, and it's almost like she doesn't understand what the fuck she's doing. And rightfully so, some people got like upset about that. Regardless of what side you were on, it was just like in poor taste. It was you're holding up a head of your president, regardless of whether you support him or not. Like that sends a fucking message out, right?
If I was president, I'd fucking shoot her for that. Right on. Who the hell is that holding? You know what I mean?
That type of thing, right? So I don't think this
That's why
is.
I'll never be
I wouldn't really
president.
say this is public shaming, as it is more just a backlash to.
No, this is it blew up in her face.
It
That's
blew,
all
it blew up
is.
in her face. However, there are certain things online, especially with Twitter, where public shaming does occur, and in great droves. So there's a whole not a documentary, but like a TED Ed about this.
A what?
A TED education.
Kind of like a TED Talk.
Yeah, it's a TED Talk. It's exactly that, TED Talk. You fucking swine, you.
Fucking pig.
Uncultured swine. So anyway, they
Ted is a person.
I know, but it means something.
TED, a TED Talk. Like, usually talk about some things like to improve your life.
Yeah, anything.
Pep talk?
No. Regardless, well, I'll show you it later. Anyway, this guy he wrote a book about this, public shaming, and how he accidentally publicly shamed somebody, but he didn't. That wasn't his intention. Someone had said something about him, and then he retorted, and then everybody was on his side, and he was like shocked to find that out, and they like almost ruined the other guy's career, and he's like, I didn't mean that. And he did some studies on public shaming in the modern world, because before 1910, public shaming was like a thing. It was like culturally and socially accepted. And then around 1910, they passed laws, and it was mostly just because people had compassion. You're not going to ruin someone's life because they did they said one thing wrong, or they did one thing wrong. It was a mistake type of thing, right? But now it seems to have come back with the internet. And how do I mean that? So we say jokes. We say jokes that have inflection, that have intonation, that based on the tone of your voice is a joke.
And based on how well you know the person.
Yeah. So you develop that. So I know and everyone else who listens to the podcast knows that when you're talking shit about Jimmy, you're not actually talking shit about Jimmy. You're making a joke, right?
Half the stuff is true.
See, like that. Like you want to dick smack Jimmy. I don't actually believe you're going to dick smack Jimmy. Because first off,
I hope I'm not, man.
First off, I made him believe he stuck his dick in your mouth, and he was like scared he actually did it.
You see, the fact that you made him believe that, it means that he has some thoughts in his head.
You have a point.
Because you could never convince me to put my dick in John's mouth. I didn't do it.
I didn't fucking do it. Anyway. One example that I remember quite a bit for that publicly shaming thing was this woman who said she was going to Africa.
Yeah, I know this.
And she was like, what am I saying? White people don't get AIDS. To me, I would have read that as sarcasm, right? When you say a joke, when it's written down, it's very hard you can take it in many different ways. Like a picture has 1,000 words, a sentence has 1,000 meanings. Exactly. So she said that. Like, what am I talking about? White people don't get AIDS. It was sarcasm because she was actually going there to help out with volunteering for African children, I think. And she was on the plane ride when she did this. She turned her phone off. By the time she got off, she was world famous, and people she had lost her job by the time. It was from her plane ride when she got on to getting off. I think it was Africa where she got off.
Funny line though, you know.
It's funny, but basically, it got one person
got offended.
No, not got offended. He was a blog writer. He was a journalist. He shared it. He's like, "What the fuck is this?" Didn't even get offended. He's just like, "Check this shit out." And because he had a lot of people following him, it spread, and they basically were like going after her. And even though a whole bunch of people said, "Let's fucking ruin her life. Let's go after her. Like she has to get fired. Let's attack the company she works for." By the time she got off the airplane, she was fired from her job, and basically her career was ruined because now nobody, you're known online. You Google her name, it's everywhere that she said this. And it was taken out of context. So you ruin someone's life by publicly shaming them because you don't understand sarcasm on the internet or even a joke on the internet. I'm 100% against anything publicly shaming. Like someone makes a mistake, even if regardless of what it is, mistakes are made. No one's gonna be fucking making no one's gonna be perfect at all fucking times. Even if it is in poor taste or it's something you don't joke about. I don't think it's right to ruin someone's life over it.
So why do you publicly shame too?
Yeah,
because I'm not that famous.
Oh, okay.
And I know I could never, divide that fan base.
You don't know, man. Maybe when this shit gets posted a week later, Tool's like belly up, out of business, finished because of you, man. And because of your fucking public shaming ways, man.
Well, I'm sure Maynard James Kane. What is his name?
Yeah, that's his name from now
James
on.
Kane.
James Vindel, and he gives a James Kane.
James Kane. That bald motherfucker comes over. He'd probably come and try to shoot me or something.
Don't you find it interesting how quickly he grows his hair really long for a perfect circle?
I don't know what you're referring to.
You're unaware.
You're unaware.
Awareness.
Awareness, guy.
Awareness.
Speaking of awareness, remember how you know the way like 23 eludes you? Well, Tool have a song called 46 and 2.
Yeah.
Where the fuck is Ivy? You
Divided
guys
by
suck.
2.
You guys
46
fucking
divided
suck.
is 23, man. Michael Jordan.
LeBron.
Yeah, him too.
Fuck.
You see, he's elite.
Fuck. What's
He's
his
elite.
number?
23.
The fuck.
Really?
Boom.
Yeah.
No.
Big LeBron
the,
James.
the NBA doesn't retire numbers for life?
A number can be retired for a team.
A team.
But
But he's like one of the greatest. Like what Gretzky's number is
No,
retired
Gretzky's
for
the
life.
only fucking guy that did that. You can't wear my number.
yeah, like over here, we'll have a certain number. Like let's say 33 is retired, but it's retired for Montreal Canadiens. So no other Montreal player.
Some
can have
clown
33.
wore 66 in the NHL this year.
Yeah. And 66 was
Jagger's number. No,
Well, then
Mario-
fuck LeBron
Oh,
James.
Mario Lemieux.
Ah,
I'm kidding.
fuck
It's
Mario
Mario
Who the
Lemieux.
fuck
yeah.
does LeBron James think he is taking
The
20
king.
minutes? No.
It's King LeBron.
You know what it is?
Get outta here.
I have somebody on my Facebook.
It's King
as a
LeBron.
friend. Somebody on my Facebook was talking about him.
Kevin
basi-
Spacey.
No, and basically said something like, you got Michael Jordan, now you got LeBron. And that's like comparing, you have Muhammad Ali and Mike Tyson. So Michael Jordan is the legend, but LeBron is apparently somewhat better. So, it's like Muhammad Ali.
Lost, dude.
Muhammad Ali's the legend, and Tyson was.
I wouldn't say he's better than Jordan.
I wouldn't
but
say he's better. He's not better.
But
than
he
Jordan.
was.
I wouldn't say Jordan is better than LeBron.
Oh no, actually, that for me, I would say
Like,
Jordan is better.
Jordan
than LeBron.
flies. He's got wings.
And
It
he's got-
was
he's
Red
got
Bull
shoes
before
that are
Red Bull
wearing.
fucking came out. Yeah, he's got some badass shoes. He was in Space Jam. I give him that too.
Give him that.
You know, but
I don't know. Would you say Sidney Crosby's better than Gretzky?
I would say this. I find the NBA is much more competitive today than it was in '92. And LeBron is shining like a motherfucker. And he's been in the finals over and over and over and over again. He lives in the finals. He's got real estate in the fucking
He might
finals.
do a three-peat like Michael Jordan did.
You know? So in that way, he's incredible. And like you said,
I'm not saying he's not incredible.
Crosby comparing to Gretzky, it's not comparable
Here's why.
at all. Because Crosby lives a much harder life than Gretzky lived. Gretzky had like 4 cops on the fucking team that'll arrest you, beat you, put you in the jail if you looked at him wrong.
I don't disagree,
you know?
but like, here's why I
Still was
say
the best player though.
Here's why I say what I
Best
say
athlete.
because it's
Gretzky.
actually from shut the fuck up.
Kelly,
Tony Hawk was saying this about Rodney Mullen.
it's not a sport.
Skateboarding.
It's not a sport.
Look at this asshole over here. Can't flip a board. It's not a sport.
It's not a sport. There's no goal.
There's a goal.
No.
Flying. They're actually flying too. Anyway, just fucking listen.
I am.
All right.
Take what?
There was a documentary on like the guys who like really made skateboarding popular, right? Tony Hawk and Rodney.
Hell of a
Mullen.
video game.
I don't know if you know who Rodney Mullen is.
Rodney Mullen?
Rodney Mullen.
No.
He's the one who created the kickflip. Basically, anything that flips a board, he's the one who created it. That's why it's street and vert, which is when you're on a half pipe. So Tony Hawk was more half pipe in the pools and shit. Rodney Mullen was able to flip boards standing still, and nobody knew how to do that, right? So Tony Hawk, they were friends. They were on the same team. And Tony Hawk had said this in the video. It's like, it's incredibly fucking difficult to create something that you've never seen before. Because once you've seen someone do it, you're like, yeah, he can do it, I can do it too. After he had done like a kick flip, heel flip, all these fucking flip tricks without having to be on a what's it called? A pipe.
Half pipe.
Yeah. Everyone else was able to do it. And that's why he said, he's the greatest, because once I saw him do it, I knew I was going to be able to. But it's incredibly difficult to create something that you don't know exists. That's why I say for like
And this
Jordan,
Jordan
he was
wins.
yes, that's why.
And Gretzky is
Because-
boss for the same reason.
I agree, 100%. That's why, because to become the greatest when no one technically was, you had like people up in the air, Magic Johnson versus Bird.
No shit.
It's not the same thing as when Jordan came in and like now we have to learn to play
Jordan
like him.
versus Bird.
Jordan versus Johnson also.
Right? Yeah, but the rivalry was really between Bird and Johnson, because then Dude, they have documentaries
They even
about
have a
those
video
two.
game too, Jordan versus
Yeah,
Bird.
I know this, but the
They
rivalry was
played for the Big
There was
Mac.
a race rivalry between those two.
No. They shot the ball from every angle possible for the Big Mac. Larry Bird and Michael Jordan. They used off the
I'm not
backboard,
okay.
off the
I'm
wall,
not saying
off
that they
this.
didn't play with each other, or even they
You
weren't
make it sound
rivals.
sexual when you say it.
Yeah, because you like that.
You did this
What I'm trying to
too.
fucking say is that
They didn't play with each other.
the real rivalry was between Johnson and Bird.
That also
Now,
sounds perverted.
why are you keeping the fucking roughing me, man? Why you gotta be like that?
I miss Ivy.
This is what happens when you
He
go
would
to
be the guy
You become a
usually.
pretentious asshole.
It's true. Their fans are pretentious assholes.
Anyway, that's why I consider Jordan and the guys who did it first. Because once you see that you're able to do those moves, you can emulate it. in
LeBron
hockey.
is still the fucking king right
There's
now.
something
Right
similar.
now, yeah.
There's something similar. I mean, it's not the same thing as, let's say, what Michael Jordan did, where he created that. I don't know if you can
No,
call it.
He didn't really create it.
Revolutionized.
Yeah. I'm not saying he
I don't know if
created
you know
it,
this, but there was a thing called the 4-minute mile. And the 4-minute mile was something for, I don't know if it's centuries, but it was definitely like a bunch of generations where everybody thought that the fastest a human could run is 1 mile in 4 minutes. No one could ever do this. And for years and years, actually, I'm pretty sure it was the centuries, that no one could do it. Now, there was this one guy that had realized that he was able to run a quarter of a mile in under a minute. So he got to thinking, what if I can condition myself and, get my cardio up really well and my strength up really high, that if I can do a quarter mile in under a minute, that means I can do the
The
full
whole thing in
mile
under 4,
in
yeah.
under 4 minutes. And I think he did it in something like 3 minutes and 57 seconds. I don't know exactly what it is. As soon as he did that, everybody was like, holy shit. All of a sudden, literally not much time later, like something like 2
People
months
did it
later,
regularly.
that record got broken. And then it just kept getting broken over and over and over since then.
So that's exactly what I mean. Because with that same documentary in the Tony Hawk thing, he was talking about how he did a 540 turn off a half pipe, and everyone was trying it, but they thought, it's gonna be impossible. It's gonna be impossible. And he comes and does it flawlessly, and then everyone was practicing it so hard because I finally saw him do it and land it. And then one guy said, it took me 6 months to fucking get this thing, and I actually landed it. But then I after I landed it, I was like, I can't believe it took me so fucking long. But the whole thing is like that. You see one guy do it, then you know it's possible, and you are able to go ahead and do it.
It says that basically it's
And do
basing
it
your
better.
mind.
Yeah.
Your mind is your limitation.
Yeah, and you can do it better too. But you still need that extra to be able to do that. To be the first person is much harder than it is to be the second person and do it better.
Yeah, like guitar.
Like guitar. Yeah, I agree.
Funny though, they say though that if somebody's doing something if somebody's doing something stupid, like let's say you're at a beach, or anything, and somebody starts doing something really fucking retarded. Everybody's there laughing at the guy like, hey, look at that fucking retard.
Are we talking about a Wildwood story?
No. I said beach, but it could be anywhere.
I know.
I'm just saying
I'm
like
fucking
that.
with you.
And now, if everybody joins in, does that make him the leader? No. The real leader is the second person that goes and joins the guy, because he's the guy that
That
once
made it something.
once the second guy goes and joins the guy that's being an idiot, then everybody's like, oh well, if he just went, maybe it's okay. I'll go do it too. And it's the same thing, like even on a dance floor. One person will go on the dance floor. He'll be the only one on the dance floor. As soon as a second person goes, that's when everybody follows that second person.
I don't think the second person is a leader
The
for
second
that.
person
The
is
first
the
person
leader.
is the one leading, because the second person is the one to break that taboo. And then once there's more than one, it's like, okay, I'm going to do it now.
Only one person follows the first guy. The herd followed the second guy.
Yeah.
Though.
That's
You're not following the second guy. You're following the
You
first guy,
actually
and then
are.
realize, no, you're not following the second
No,
one.
because
the dance was
everybody's
a perfect
afraid to
example
go.
what he just said.
Everybody's afraid to go.
I've been in that situation.
Everyone's afraid to go, but then the first person that goes, there's one guy dancing. So the second person is not
No. The first guy dancing, people are just like, I don't want to go there. Why would I go there?
I'm not
right?
gonna go
But
dance.
as soon as the second guy goes, I said dancing, but it could be anything that society will think is ridiculous. As soon, like, you might think the guy's a crazy guy, but as soon as, like, one guy is like, you know what, maybe that guy's not so crazy, let me go join that fucker. As soon as that second guy goes, that's when everybody's like, well, wait, that crazy? Oh, now we've got another guy there. Let's go see what all the hype is. And that's where everybody just joins.
And then there was 50 people watching us smack each other in the chest with a flip-flop.
There you go.
Wildwood. And 50 people joined in. You weren't there that year.
So who was the one who was leading then? The second group to do it? Because I'm thinking you guys are the ones who created it.
We were already a group doing this.
Doesn't matter. You're still one group. It's still the first person.
Yeah, so you know who would be the leader was a kid in reality.
So there you go.
In
you guys were stumped by a fucking child.
No, we were happy to be. We were happy to be. We were spreading our seed.
Spreading our seed.
I think of leaders. I think of a leader as something different than just everyone following you. It's definitely got to be.
Maybe leaders is the wrong.
Yeah, I think leader is the wrong word there because leader is like you can get a whole group to go. You be the first person that you walk at the front. Yeah,
is who you're talking about.
Yes, yeah, it's a difference maker because a leader is not something that's like just because they're following you.
Don't look at me when I'm talking behind your back that way.
Nice.
It's a good shot.
That was a good shot.
It was right there. It happens when it's right there. Anyway, I difference maker. Yes, the guy who turns the tide. The guy who turns the tide.
Tide Turner.
Ted Turner.
Yeah, it's like somebody's name.
And you know what a tide turner is? It's a washing machine.
Yes, it is. You know who Ted Turner is?
Yes.
He used to own CNN and WCW and the Buffalo Bills.
He's got a weird mustache for his face.
No.
It's just the way it is.
It's an expensive mustache.
And you like wrestling. Anyways. There's something you were talking about and kind of like what I was saying. So basically when we're born, now are we on to another subject now?
I don't know. Just say what you want to say.
So basically when we're born with like these innate abilities. And when I say abilities, it's just stuff that,
you know. Climb walls?
No. You know, okay, through evolution and everything, because, you know, we just developed a bunch of things that we can do, right? And right now in the last 150 years, if we really want to stretch it, our technology has advanced much faster. So as a result, we, because humans just like to make things easier, we are losing a lot of our abilities. And they found that even grip strength, just comparing our grip strength of today to guys in the 1950s, they were stronger in the 1950s.
Yeah, we're washing out instinct, man.
Right. So and the thing is, it takes about 10,000 years, if not more, for humans to actually evolve. I mean, physiologically.
But we did it in a few years.
But because we did this, our physiological capacity to evolve is not happening fast enough. So as a result, we're actually getting sicker. In fact, okay, we all know that, like, the average person probably lived till about 35, 40 years old before.
Wait, I have to stipulate this. Everyone believes you die at that age. It's not.
No,
it means
it's not. It's
half live longer and half died before that age. And if you remove children between 0 and
21, I know half of society died between the ages of 0 and 21 years old.
Yeah. Oh well, 0 and 5 is even higher. That's why, when you're younger, more babies die.
They said by the age of 21, 50% of the people that you would know are dead.
So if you start from 21, let's just say you live to 21, you had a very big chance of living a long life. I'm not talking about dying at 50. It was like 60, 70.
The thing is, our hormones and everything go up to like consistently well up until about the age of 40. Mm-hmm. Okay, and so we're able to take a lot of punishment. Now, so getting back to that, this is why girls, for example, they have a much harder time having birth past the age of 40, even past the age of 35 to a certain point. Now, so what I was trying to say is, they found that those that did live past 40, they found their skeletons and stuff. Like when you find them, there's no arthritis, there's no evidence of cancer, like autoimmune diseases, nothing. So what is it that we do now that leads to this? And they're saying that, well, we are much weaker than we were before. Before we didn't shower every day. Before we didn't wash our hands. Before there was a lot of things. So our immune system was constantly fighting stuff. Right now, it fights very little.
Very little.
So
yeah.
what happens is people that have arthritis. You know what arthritis is? It's the immune system. It's the immune system that sees the cartilage between the two bones as a threat.
And attacks it. Yeah.
And so it attacks it. Same thing, cancer. Cancer is an autoimmune disease. So it basically, our body destroys ourselves.
Cancer isn't an autoimmune disease.
Wow.
No, autoimmune is something that you have no immunity to it, and cancer is just genes that what's it called, mutate incorrectly, and then they keep mutating in that way.
Yeah, and because our body didn't correct it, also.
But regardless, no matter what, there's always been cancer. It's just a mutation of genes that went awry.
Anyway,
There's a lot more now.
So getting back to this, some of the things that we were actually still born with, but then we kind of lose as we get older. And this is even before, like, one thing is like our sense of direction. Little kids have a very good sense of direction, but even before GPS, the reason we've been losing this ability of a sense of direction is because, let's say, our parents would put us in a car, drive us around. So if you weren't an observant kid, then you just wouldn't develop
where the fuck you're going.
Where you're going. So then after a while, you just don't develop that. You just lose it. You know, it's like a muscle. You don't use it, you lose it. Same thing with this. And
How's your dick doing then, bud?
my dick fell off, dude. I
Shit, poor guy.
I use a detachable penis now.
Nice. That's
Yeah.
good.
And same thing, like we got brown fat. They always thought for a long time that brown fat is very little, first of all, in our system. They always thought, oh, well, brown fat is useless. Now they're realizing it's metabolically active, and the leaner you get, technically, because there's less of the white fat, now there's more brown fat, and this brown fat actually burns more calories.
Yeah, I know. I've read about that too.
But then, so now getting back to this, why do babies have brown fat? Because babies don't know how to contract their muscles very well. So when they get cold, they can't shiver. This brown fat kicks in. So they said, like, if you're cold, just relax, don't tense up, and you'll find that you'll actually get warmer.
You know how incredibly difficult it is to be cold and not shiver?
Yeah, it means going against what is normal for you.
But no, but
right now.
it's-
But normally we were, because we used to sleep outside. We used to do all this shit. Now we cover ourselves.
I know.
We're in heat and all that.
It's like taking a piss and then stopping yourself midstream after you held it in. It's really fucking difficult.
You don't do this.
That's what I'm like. I'm sure you could stop yourself from shivering.
Oh, let me tell
but
you,
it's fucking hard.
That night when I was pissing in that drawer, that little second that I did, dude, I stopped it and I ran to the bathroom.
I know.
Like, normally I wouldn't do that.
That was your
shit.
fight or flight. I was like,
Yeah.
either you fight this drawer or you run from it, and you ran. So go on.
So I don't remember where I was going with this, but basically we got a lot of these things, and you know,
I agree with everything you're saying, because it is true. The more convenience that we have, the less we have to
easy on our body.
So, you ever see the movie Wall-E?
before you continue, I give myself work by going to the gym to lift a bunch of shit and put it back down on the floor. When this is stuff that our ancestors, if our ancestors saw the way we were living right now, they'd be like, what the fuck?
And yet he has better grip strength, much better.
But
grip
he
strength.
does work with his hands.
Yeah,
though.
I know, but
But he's a rarity in society. Most people right now, what do we do? What do? You work on a computer. What do I do? What does Ivy do? What does most people do? We have it easy, dude. We don't need to go out and fight for food. We want food, we go to a grocery store. In fact, now we got it in our fridge, and if it's not in our fridge and we don't feel like making it, we can call it and have it delivered. This did not exist before.
I know, it's
this
amazing.
Is something, a new concept.
So, you ever see the movie Wall-E?
No.
Pixar movie?
I know about it.
Okay,
Though.
I'm sure. Okay, so he knows, he's seen it, and for you, basically what happens is, like, the planet, spoiler alert, the planet is like post-apocalyptic, so humans can't live on it, so they go to space. Now they're in space for 700 years. He jumps to the future. Forget about the story of Wall-E. I'm just trying to say the humans that are in space for 700 years, basically they get fat, but it's not like fat normally that you would see. It's like baby fat. It's just they're fully grown adults, but they look like babies.
They're soft.
They're very soft, bulgy, but not like rolls of heavy fat. First off, you're in space and there's no gravity. Second, it was just a natural thing. They got like that because they were literally on wheelchairs, like floating wheelchairs that would take them everywhere.
Because there's no gravity.
Well, there's no gravity and bone density and everything like that. But that's basically what happens when we get too convenient. When we have too much convenience. I 100% agree. Now we're all, us in this room, we're all very, very guilty of being fucking lazy and taking convenience.
100%. Even if you're not a lazy person, the fact that when you go home you'll sit down, the fact that like whatever you do at work you're sitting down. This is not what humans did before. For thousands and thousands of years, we are meant to stand up. We are meant to be doing things, constantly moving. Now what do? We just
I like to
try
think of
and do nothing.
I like to think of it as building our minds. I'm not just sitting. I am sitting down. Physically, I am sitting down, but I'm also just not like tuned out.
We're more knowledgeable, maybe, but even then, that's debatable too. Because
you're a big ass pussy with a brain that works.
They knew different things. They knew different things. I don't know how to fucking plant a tree. I have no fucking idea. But I can tell you how to learn how to play guitar, restring a guitar, do stuff that I was knowledgeable about.
But see, that's not for survival.
I know that's not for survival. That's the thing. So they knew things about survival. I don't have those things. And I do worry if that were to ever be the case, I'd be fucking 100% dead. 100%. There's like no way I'd survive if there was like a solar flare that knocked out all the power.
Yeah, you'd survive. You'd find out a way.
I'd probably kill a few people.
We're like rats, dude. Nothing stops humans, man.
Yeah, that's one
we
thing.
adapt
somehow
quickly,
these innate abilities come back. I know of someone who got lost in a forest. Okay, like he went. I don't know if he was with his father or whatever it was. Literally, they got lost, and this is about 3 or 4 years ago. And dude, it got dark, and he said we had no flashlight, nothing. And he's like, I don't know what it was. It was cold, and we managed. He said we
make it through, man.
They managed after a bunch of hours to get back to wherever they were supposed to be, and they just don't know how. They were just like, pretty sure it's that way. They were listening to sounds, like all these things just kicked in. I remember hearing water at this point, so it's got to be that we got to go continue going this way. Like there was just a bunch of shit.
So I also believe that you said it would come back sometimes.
If
right?
it's fight or flight.
It would come back. So
but it's a regular situation.
There's also certain things that those like survival instincts that we have, they're not gone. They're just dormant. They're dormant.
Well,
and to give you an example, at work, I was setting up the surround sound for testing, and I realized that a lot of people didn't actually know how to test for sound. I don't do it very often, but because we're musicians and we, going in and recording tracks, we're hearing things that anybody else who's never heard it wouldn't hear at all. Like I'm certain there's still a laugh in one of my songs on an album. And I can't figure out why I keep hearing a laugh because we took everything off, but I still hear it. We are all tuned to hear things in tracks like that, stuff that people will miss. So sound testing, kind of the same thing. I'm looking for things that are out of place, that don't feel right, especially when it's surround because everything's moving around you. That can be developed. I know it can be developed. It's not a survival instinct, but that type of thing doesn't take very long to develop. You just got to be able to train, and it's not a very long training. So I was thinking about that it's not something that anyone needs to know or do, but it is something that you can train for in a very quick amount of time. Same thing with like survival. I don't know how to plant a tree, but if I want to, I will go learn how to plant a tree.
You'll figure it out.
I can figure it out, yeah.
Someone else that will have a better idea.
100%. 100%, I agree with that.
And that's the thing, the way that, let's say that guy, how he found his way through the forest back to wherever his camp was or base or whatever. This is like a girl or a mother of a kid who, let's say, happens to get crushed under a car, and for whatever reason, weak woman, but in this fight or flight instinct somehow had the strength of like 3 times her normal strength, lifted this shit up, freed her baby.
Hey dude, take a really fat dude, okay? Somebody who's severely overweight. Start shooting at him and watch how he can run when there's bullets coming at him. But he'll never run any other situation. He doesn't know he could run. Yeah, he doesn't tell you, run. Are you crazy? Have you seen me? I can barely get off the chair.
So when we run for recreation, we're very aware that we're running for recreation. When we're running from like fight or flight, we're just like, I'm going to fucking die. So that you're not thinking about running.
Yeah, so that's an instinct.
That's an instinct.
Right there. So it's like I always say, it's like when you become aware of your tongue, you start speaking weird. And now you guys you're gonna keep your mouth shut because you're aware of your tongue.
What do I do about my tongue?
You see, think about your tongue when you.
No, I don't know.
Why would I think about my tongue? I don't know.
You see right there, you're So like building muscle memory or more brain memory for doing something, that's actually you just doing something, and it's practice so you're not aware of what you're doing. That's how you get faster and better at doing something. Because when you're aware of it, practicing a fucking guitar line, when you get better at it, when you don't have to think about what you got to do next, it's just.
Yeah, I think anything you don't have to think about.
Yeah, when you become unaware of what you're doing is when you can get faster at it.
Well, somebody said something once. Why sometimes taking a break from your practice or whatever like works.
Oh yeah,
I
100%.
Look at it as you have, let's say, pretend you got like a big sponge or something. Or something like this, okay? And now, whatever it is you're practicing, think of it as you're going down into the sponge like this, right? So you're creating an indentation. And now you're starting to do it wrong. But because you keep practicing right there, like you're not stopping, you're continuing going down that same crevice or indentation that you're making. So take a break, let it come back up. When you come back to it, you can start from scratch, and you'll still take that same technique that you were doing, but now for some reason your brain has time to reset almost and go in anew. So
coming from a guitar background and people telling me my ability to play guitar makes no sense because I don't practice like anybody that I know does. Basically, even when I was growing up, people would say, I'm trying to practice that for
there are like.
Oh yeah, I know.
Genetics do play factors in things.
Slightly, but I'm not genetically built for fucking playing guitar. Basically, when I was in high school, a lot of the guitarists would say, I'm practicing like 2 hours a night, man. I'm like, I'm not. I'm playing here and there. Like, not here and there. I would practice something, but I wouldn't practice it for very long. I would focus on what I'm doing, put it down, come back to it later, put it down. Like almost ADD of playing guitar. I can't sit there for an hour and just play guitar. And that's just the way I've always been. I would always practice in very small increments. And then later on, years later, I found out that's actually the best way to practice because I'm retaining everything that I learned.
Same thing with studying.
Yeah, same thing with studying. And I'm not practicing because your hand is naturally just going to get tired. You're going to be practicing poor technique when you do that. So when you're playing 2 hours, your hand it's just going to wear out. You can't keep doing this for hours. So you're just going to be practicing poor technique, which is one reason, because I know a lot of guitarists who had fucking carpal tunnel. I've never once had carpal tunnel. I don't even know how the fuck you get carpal tunnel playing guitar. Have you ever had it? I just don't.
I never had it.
I know. So
fucking progeny, dude. I'm like,
But yeah, but when you want to learn something, also, it's the same thing. Like if you're gonna say I'm gonna do this for an hour, what happens is whatever you start doing, okay, think of it as it dips like this and it comes back up. So the beginning and the end is what you'll remember the most. But now if you take that hour and you break it up in 20 minutes, now you've got a beginning and an end, beginning and an end, and a beginning and an end. You'll have retained a lot more than just doing it 1 hour straight.
Exactly. At first I had to remember it so that I wasn't aware of it. And then I had to practice the things that I wasn't getting correctly.
That's why people that binge watch, and I'm guilty of this too, watch a show, you'll love the show, but you try to remember a lot of things. You have a hard time remembering a lot of that. But watch this
7 hours and
but you watch those shows one episode at a time, one episode a night or whatever. Like when I watched Lost and it was week after week after week, I can still tell you right now what season certain things happen and what's that.
You're very right. You're very right. 100%. Because I can't remember a fucking thing about Flaked season 2 came out, and I think it's like the Kmart version of Californication, which we spoke about last week. I fucking love. So I'm watching it, and second season came out. Put the episode on. I was like, thank God there's a fucking recap before the episode because I can't remember anything that happened. I just know that I liked it, and it was like Californication. But it's weird because it's like, oh man, so many things, so many good things happen.
If you do that, sometimes you put an episode on. But 10 minutes in, you realize, oh, fuck, I watched this shit already.
Yeah.
Next episode,
House of Cards. Last year, I watched it all, season 1 to 3. And when I was done, season 4 came out. And I remembered somewhat how it ended, season 4. And now I'm like, wait, I know that the election was starting. What happened? And thank God, when I started it on Netflix there on Tuesday when it came out, the new season, there was a nice, long 5-minute recap. I was like, oh yeah, that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that shit.
Because Netflix is designing their shows around binge watchers. It's crazy. It's like, we know we're going to binge watch them. And they're strategic about this because other types of shows, they release once a week, like Mike Tyson Mysteries.
I was going to say, don't they have any once a week shows?
They do. Yeah, I don't know what they plan on being all at once or once a week, but...
Must be a reason they do these things.
It's Netflix. They can pretty much do whatever the fuck they want now. Well,
Hardwired. Yeah.
Hardwired.
Oh, we're gonna do that?
No.
We can keep hardwired for another time.
All right. Well, we're hardwired to end this now.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, we're hardwired to end it.
So,
Which is
final
pretty much the
confession.
same.
We miss Ivy. That's our
Hello,
first
darkness.
Or as you call them, eyebrow.
Eyebrow.
No,
We're
I
missing
meant
an
no.
eyebrow.
I didn't even mean to say that. I was like, how are you feeling? And I went eyebrow. You feeling?
Ivy, how you turn to eyebrow?
Oh man, I didn't know that. That's what you were trying to say.
Eyebrow.
I looked at during the show. I saw it, and I saw Armin. Eyebrow.
Samir.
Samir, we're gonna show you Samir. Hey, how about I just say that?
Yes, go for it.
I found a meme of a picture. We're gonna put that picture right now, and it says on it. I think it says, "Back in my day, bathrooms were used to take shits in, not pictures." As soon as I showed that to Ivy, he disappeared, and he sent me a selfie from the bathroom at the restaurant.
Yeah.
And I saw it. I thought it was funny, and I wanted to write, "Now take a shit, damn it." So, but it auto-corrected my damn it to Samir for some reason.
Take a shit, Samir.
So it was like, "Now take a shit, Samir," and exclamation mark. He sends me a picture immediately right after with toilet paper on his head. This picture right here. You know? And that's Samir. And
But it was
fucking
like
Ivy.
even his face
it's
was
the
like
face. Yeah. Samir.
so good.
Okay,
Samir.
fuck off this podcast. It's over.
It's
All right.
over.
So
Go last word first.
okay. Really? All right. Public shaming sucks. Fuck you if you do it. Tool sucks. Fuck you if you listen. Netflix binge watch. Learn survival techniques and don't practice for very long.
And don't lose your abilities.
Just don't lose your dinosaur.
Stay true to your dinosaur.
And if you enjoyed this podcast, remember to like us, add us, comment, share. You know, even if you hate what you see, fucking comment anyways. Maybe we could start a discussion. Maybe we'll make a podcast that
We need awareness for this
Awareness.
podcast.
No,
Yes.
it will only be good when it's unaware. I said this.
Underwear?
Underwear. So remember, go out. If you're going to go out, wear an underwear. That's my final word.
And my final words, just like
Words.
always. And I only got 2 words to say to you. See ya!
That's a wrap.
It sounds like Marv from Home Alone. He's getting shocked.
I don't know. You know what I watched today? I watched Ghostbusters, the cartoon. The real